Of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant IBF Heavyweight Championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Atlantic City, it is fight time! Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks, hailing from and representing his home of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in at 220 pounds. His record stands at 38 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, with 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Having held the heavyweight title and unequaled 4 times, he is known as one of boxing's great warriors. Currently ranked the #2 IBF contender, here is the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion and the former 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the one and only Evander, the real deal Holyfield. And his opponent across the ring on my right, ready to fight out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada by way of Flint, Michigan. He weighed in at a ready 214 pounds with a record of 34 wins and 2 losses. He has 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former WBO heavyweight world champion, the current IBF #1 ranked heavyweight. Here is the classy top contender, introducing Chris Byrd. And once again, a referee in charge, Randy Newman, now to give instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, you're both familiar with the rules. We've gone over them. I want you to remember 2 things. Obey my commands. Most importantly, defend yourselves at all times. I'll shake hands and come out at the bell.
Many casual fans who don't know much about Chris Byrd, and even some serious fans who do, will be surprised, if not shocked, that at the last call in Las Vegas, Byrd is more than a 2-to-1 favorite tonight.
There's more than 5,000 fans here tonight also. A lot more.
A lot of paper in the house too, George.
Crowd rising in energy as Randy Newman prepares to summon the fighters to the center of the ring, and here they come. If you haven't seen Byrd before, instantly see the southpaw stance. Holyfield has had 3 previous fights against southpaws in his professional career. 2 of them, of course, in the heavyweight division against Michael Moorer. Won 1, lost 1. Byrd, an entirely different kind of fighter than Moorer, though. Not a power puncher like the former heavyweight champ who was knocked out by George Foreman.
Byrd has got to get in there and show sometime, at some point or another, that he can punch, stand up to these big guys and get a knockdown. Don't just be counted on to run and get out of the way and duck. That's what he should do tonight. Step up to the bat. Evander Holyfield has got to make certain that he don't allow this guy to move to his right. He's very weak on his right side. He seems not to be able to see shots over there.
On Holyfield's right side.
Holyfield's right side is very weak.
So in other words, if Byrd moves to his left, he's going to the side where Holyfield has trouble defending himself.
That's right, and Holyfield can't seem to, he's not lost coordination on that side for some reason.
Meanwhile, Byrd starts out moving in exactly the opposite direction, rotating from left to right, and slams Holyfield with a straight left hand.
That's good. Holyfield's got to get busy. You got to make certain this guy's elbows are never out overextended. Keep those elbows sharp. Taps you close.
Byrd lands a straight left hand. Holyfield lands a left hook on Byrd against the ropes. Evander, for his part, says, I must focus on the body. When you miss against Byrd, you tend to miss upstairs, and it wears you out when you miss big shots against him. My idea, says Evander, go to his body and just try to keep my hands on him. But he's going upstairs and missing.
Well, that's not so bad for him upstairs because Byrd is not that tall. He's been missing guys who are a lot taller. This time he's going to land a lot more shots than he normally does with the taller guys. The referee is going to have to make certain that those are not backhands with that right jab that Byrd is throwing.
Well, it's a fine line. It's a fine line because he lays it out there more or less with the hand open. And Byrd is such a soft puncher. I mean, he's really trying most of the time simply to make some impact.
But he's thrown more hard punches in this round than he normally does, particularly earlier in the fight.
Holyfield got in his best punch to the body so far, a left hook to the ribcage under Byrd's right elbow.
And that's Evander Holyfield's best punch, if you ask me, that left hook to the body.
Totally agree.
Holyfield trying to make the counter puncher come to him.
Hard right hand by Holyfield, drives Byrd to the ropes. Byrd ducks another punch as the round comes to a close.
That's what he's going to do. The last 30 seconds, he's going to try to rush you. Keep him in the center of the ring. He can't touch you out there. You need to get in close to do what he got to do, okay?
How do you feel? I feel great.
Yeah, you got to keep that jab, knowing them with it. Just knowing with it and drop that left hand. You know what you got to do. You got to touch him
on the other side.
Any more?
Holyfield lands a right toward the end of the round. You wonder if that will influence the scoring of that round. Very difficult rounds to score. Incidentally, you saw Chris Byrd's mother and father in the corner with him between rounds.
Brother Patrick also plays a role in there. Mother Rose, Father Joe, fixtures in the Byrd corner. CompuBox numbers in round one. Holyfield only 6 of 29 by CompuBox estimate. Byrd 13 out of 47. Yet Harold Letterman, perhaps influenced by that sharp right hand toward the end, elected to give the round to Evander.
I gave it to Byrd.
Well, a lot of these rounds figure to be tough to score.
The judge Letterman has been pretty much right on the number these days. It's hard to go against him.
Byrd sticking the jab. Holyfield still trying to determine exactly what he wants to do against Byrd.
He's trying to make him come forward.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Shot.
And here comes Holyfield lashing out and hitting Byrd with a right hand to the chest. Yeah, elaborate on this, George, because it looks as though he's trying to lull the counterpuncher.
Counterpunchers love to make you miss first, and then they hit you with something. That's what you got to do, is make them throw something and then start countering on them occasionally, and you make them give it up.
So Holyfield is purposely staying back and trying to lure Byrd to him.
Right, counterpunchers love to duck. The best one will tell you, I'll do it, let me duck first. A good straight left by Byrd that time. Yeah.
Byrd popping and spinning, popping and spinning.
If you Holyfield, you don't want him to get that kind of courage to just stand there and just don't do anything. You got to touch him, if nothing else.
Holyfield short with the winging right. Byrd still just popping the jab, little straight left hand. Just trying to get his hands onto Evander and score.
Byrd's corner told him, look, stay in the middle of the ring. He can't get you out there. And Holyfield needs that close to the ropes to land 2 shots to Byrd. Misses him if he's out in the middle, but if he's close to the rope, he's going to land that 1-2 combination. And that was a rope, and he didn't do anything.
A lot of distance between Byrd and Evander fighting this way. At some point, does Holyfield have to get closer, George?
He's got to keep the fight close at all times. Byrd does not like close fighting.
Yeah, but the thing is, Holyfield's trying to fight not his fight. This is not the kind of fight that Evander Holyfield has ever fought before, as long as I can remember, of trying to go on a defensive and lure the other fighter into him consistently.
Well, he's always been in with the bigger guys who's attacking him anyway. So it's pretty much what he likes, you to come after him. He'll beat you up. He just doesn't go after people as well. Love for you to try him.
I mean, this is a very big round for Byrd.
Yes, in the second round, Holyfield has looked too passive, too hesitant, and Byrd has been able to score. This Tuesday on Real Sports, Bryant Gumbel goes head-to-head with Martha Burke, leading the campaign to allow women as members at Augusta National, home of the Masters.
The good old days are gone from Augusta. And as soon as they face that, they're going to be better off, and golf will be better off.
And December 27 on the record with Bob Costas returns with a special edition, looking back at 2002 and speaking with some of the top newsmakers of the year. Serena and others. CompuBox numbers in round 2. Look at that. Holyfield throwing 14 and by CompuBox estimate landing 1. That was the right hand to the heart. Byrd 21 out of 59, 36%. So just as I say that the rounds would be difficult to score, you get an open and shut case. But this fight could change several times, it seems to me, as Holyfield explores tactics against Byrd.
Byrd is no longer throwing the kind of little pity-pat feather duster punches he used to. He may not be throwing big, heavy punches, but he's throwing sharp punches.
Now Holyfield is starting to get a little more activity going.
Looks like he wants to go to war a little bit, George.
Yeah, you just can't land the hard shots. Just settle for the mid-range shots just to make certain that you touch this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the ref say break.
Evander, 2 right hands upstairs, 2 digging left hooks to the body. Another digging left hook to the body.
Now, Evander Holyfield is fighting the right kind of fight, but you don't want to be throwing too much energy away with the power. He's fighting them the correct way, but too much energy in those shots. You got to step back and breathe once you do that.
It was interesting on the ropes how Byrd held his gloves up around his head to avoid Holyfield's head.
I think you're trying to avoid Holyfield's punches.
Well, maybe that
maybe
too.
Both. Hey, maybe both, guys. You know, it makes sense. Byrd himself said that he didn't want to focus in any way, shape, or form on the question of whether Holyfield, but he'll leave that to the referee and just try to box him.
Holyfield, thus far, is allowing Byrd to box, relax when he wants. Just can't do that with that.
There's the first headbutt of the fight.
There's a fight, let's go.
And Byrd turns to Randy Newman and says, do something.
The old guy using his head.
His back is against the rope. You got to hit him. You just got to hit him.
Is this the kind of fight that Evander Holyfield was worried about when he said he didn't want to fight a guy with this style, George?
Yeah, because this guy lifts his right hand up every now and then, doesn't do anything, keeps you ducking and dodging, and makes you look foolish once you decide I'm going to hit him.
Good body punch by Byrd.
Outstanding left to the belly, right in the center of the gut.
Now Holyfield decides that whenever Byrd throws his right, Holyfield has got to throw his right. You just can't wait and try to jab with him. Make it a dance.
Well, after a first minute of aggression, Evander Holyfield seemed to go back into that shell for the remaining 2 minutes of the round.
Keep working head. You got to run that hand.
Try to frustrate him. He uses his head like crazy.
Yeah, don't get down in there. You know you're going to use his head.
in the paper about that.
Give me a towel. Don't let him get his head in there.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't let that head in there. So you letting the head get in. Don't go on the rope. Keep him in the center ring. He lost that there. He can't get his head in the center ring.
He can back you up. There's no need for you backing up.
Punching combinations, baby. That's all you gotta do. Get close, little easy punching.
There's the first clash of heads as Holyfield comes in aggressively, trying to get into the chest of Byrd. And there's that straight left body punch by Byrd.
And you heard the conversation between Chris Byrd and his dad about Evander Holyfield's head. Harold, how do you have the first three?
Okay, Jim, 29-28, 2 rounds to 1, Chris Byrd. Jim, let me tell you something about scoring this fight. You know, basically speaking, I always say that the most important factor in judging a round is clean, effective punching. When you're judging a Evander Holyfield fight, basically what you're trying to figure out is who's doing more damage. In round 1, when Evander landed those big shots at the end of the round, he did more damage in a round. But 2 and 3, clearly Byrd rounds. One other thing about the rules, you're not allowed to spin a guy. If you spin a guy and you hit him, then the referee should take away a point.
Holyfield getting in another digging left hook to the body and getting Byrd's attention with that right-hand body shot as well.
Byrd is real good at spinning, but he's not one of these foul guys. After he spins, he never tries to hit you. That's good about it.
Chris Byrd he's certainly got the personality and the temperament of a great sportsman. There's no bigger fan of boxing among all boxers in the world than Chris Byrd, as was evidenced partially by the fact that he was there at ringside last Saturday night to watch Vladimir Klitschko and Jamil McLean 1 week removed from coming here to fight Evander Holyfield. He's just a fan who can't resist the sport.
That's why he's learned how to operate with that style he has. It's awkward. He knows it's awkward. And you get a guy who stands back and wait for you, you can beat him all night. And that's what Evander Holyfield is doing wrong tonight, standing back waiting.
Well, the story's been told many times of how Byrd and his brothers were trained to box in an 11-foot by 14-foot basement room.
Now Evander's picked up his right-hand leads.
There it goes.
Got to bring that right foot a little closer to your left and start leading with the right hand.
Interesting shift in momentum here. Holyfield getting Byrd's attention with body punches.
And he's hitting him in the chest, too. That's a good shot for Evander. Evander's corners better tell him after those refs tell you to break, you got to be the first one to get back on the guy. Don't let him be the first one.
Hard left hand from Byrd, hard right hand from Holyfield. Now Byrd popping the jab right onto Evander's chin. Very accurate punching there by Chris Byrd.
And stiff jabs.
Come in here.
Holyfield finding that to hit Byrd in the head is like trying to catch a butterfly with tweezers. It's very, very hard.
Very easy if you take the power off the shot. Stop trying to hit him with a big shot.
And Holyfield gets in 4 shots to punctuate the round after Byrd had spent the previous minute beating Evander to the punch. Tracy Byrd, wife of Chris, mother of 3, looking on from ringside like her husband, huge fan of the sport. There's one of the Byrd progeny. Only one old enough to come to the fights. Looks worried.
Yeah, don't let him do that to you, the last. He's trying to steal around the whole Ali mouth and the hip.
Throw your hook in a way to where it works, okay? Clean up the water when you're done. Yes, sir. Throw your hook the way it works. Okay?
Soft hook, hard right hand.
Quick,
Soft
quick, quick, quick. Bing, 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 bing.
4 tactical rounds in the books, all of them interesting. Ebb and flow, shifting tides of fortune. Evander Holyfield with a 12-8 CompuBox edge in power connects in that last round. Several of those connects within the last 10 seconds of the round.
That referee is staying right out of the way. I like those kind of referees. Let the fighters make the shot.
Well, it's Randy Newman, a former heavyweight himself.
Holyfield's corner told him to tap with the hook. Straight right hand. He's still throwing it powerfully like.
Well, that's because Byrd frustrates opponents. And when they get within range, they can't resist trying to overcome their frustration and hit them a hard punch.
But with a boxer like Evander Holyfield, with that kind of experience, you got to know to take direction from your corner.
Chris Byrd is backing Evander Holyfield up. What is that?
Well, it's not a backup. It's going in a circle, as you see.
Okay.
It's circle. The old square circle, as they call it.
But he's not getting away from Byrd's jab, which Byrd is just sticking into his face over and over and over.
Because it's kind of a backhand punch there.
Yep.
I guess the ref just doesn't want to get into it now, but at some point or another, you want to check him with that backhand.
Break around there. Step back.
You're saying it's not a legal blow unless he balls the fist and hits him with a bunch of gloves.
Occasionally he does it correctly, then he switches off the backhand like that. Almost happened then.
Well, what he used to do was a kind of slap boxing, George. He's closing his fist some, but he's not throwing punches with mean intentions, but he's throwing sharp punches like that.
He's landed virtually every significant punch in this round.
Holyfield is just looking for one hard shot. That's the way you don't want to fight these counter punches, looking for one shot. Got to throw 5 of them. Tap, 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 tap. Got him on the corner.
Right hand grazed Byrd. That one also a glancing blow. The body shots are landing. Now he gets a right hand in upstairs. Left hand to the body was a solid blow. Right hand on the top of the head. Byrd decides to throw back. Holyfield laying in and attacking.
Now he lets him be the first one back. That's the mistake Holyfield keeps making. He allows Byrd to be the first one back after these exchanges. He's got to be first.
Takes energy to do that.
Yeah, but you just got to suck it up and get some energy here.
Holyfield comes forward with his head and catches Byrd on the point of the chin with the top of his head after Byrd had landed 2 or 3 straight punches. Byrd popping and popping. Holyfield had the one big rally, but the rest of the round was Chris Byrd sticking the jab.
Put towel on him, put some water on his head. Deep breath.
All you gotta do is take charge. Be first. Be first.
Little water, just a little bit. Okay, no water. So let's take it. Give some water. Yeah.
Remember the last few seconds now.
Don't get on them ropes.
Here, Holyfield has a moment on the ropes trying to bully Byrd. How effective is he? It's almost like trying to pick up a wet bar of soap in the shower because he is just so slippery.
CompuBox numbers in round 5. Byrd 19 out of 57. Holyfield 11 out of only 27. The heavyweight average for punches thrown in a round is 47. Holyfield hasn't gotten there yet or anywhere near it in any of these rounds as he hunts and pecks and looks for opportunities against Chris Byrd. And George, for a while there, you said he was looking to land one big shot. He's going against a guy who's made his whole career out of never catching that one big shot.
And because he's in with bigger guys think, hey, I can beat you, you can't punch, and they go for the big shot. You got to just make yourself a little guy like he faced as a middleweight.
Break.
Just imagine yourself as a middleweight and throw shots. It's effective. Don't just try to throw them hard. You can't miss it if you're Evander Holyfield.
You mentioned Byrd's only 2 losses. He himself says he made a mistake against Ike Biabuchi and got caught with a punch that he shouldn't have been hit with. But he says that Vladimir Klitschko noticeably shortened up his punches for the purpose of just connecting with Byrd, and he said that was a good strategy on Vladimir's part.
Yeah, well, a lot of people were down on Vladimir Klitschko last week because of that disappointing fight against an opponent who didn't come to fight. But just imagine that he took 11 out of 12 rounds from Byrd and knocked him down twice and just beat him up badly.
Holyfield looking for opportunities here in the 6th, and there's a low blow.
Get him up. Let's go.
The ref is saying, I'll let you guys box. I'll let you guys fight. I'm going to stay out of the way, but don't go low. Don't rabbit punch.
Byrd sticking the jab, straight left hand, beating Holyfield to the punch over and over. Holyfield waiting again.
When Byrd goes to the body, that's insurance that Holyfield will not be strong in the last 3 rounds. Not only is he boxing him, but he's going to the body, which is very wide.
Was whacking him with a left hook, or a left cross, I should say, to the head. One of the bigger punches of the fight for Holyfield, but he took punches in return to get it in.
Holyfield's corner told him to be first, get back and be first. That's the first time he's done it.
Fighting against a southpaw, Holyfield goes straight right hand, straight right hand, straight right hand.
You can't miss it.
Byrd goes straight left hand and shows that the opposite is true as well.
All right, stop punching. Let's go.
Through half this fight, Byrd has made Evander Holyfield look about 50.
Hey, Larry, I'm 50.
That's what I said.
January 16 on HBO Latino. Look for the premiere of a new series called Boxeo de Oro, presented and promoted by the not 50 Oscar De La Hoya. This monthly boxing series will feature up-and-coming Hispanic fighters. The first show, Jose Navarro against Carlos Madrigal, and Oscar Larios against Marcos Licona. And then January 25, World Championship Boxing is back. Welterweight champ Vernon Forrest, Shane Mosley's nemesis, taking on belt holder Ricardo Mayorga, rough customer. Also the long-anticipated fight between cruiserweight champ Vasily Girov and former middleweight champion James Toney. Saturday, Jan 25. That's our next HBO World Championship Boxing show. Halfway through 12-round fight. In the 6th round, Holyfield, by CompuBox estimate, threw 18 punches, and Byrd threw 61, landing 12 of 49 jabs. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, 5 rounds to 1, 59-55, Chris Byrd. Jim, I just think he's jabbing him to death with that right jab, but I gotta tell you something about the rules. George Foreman said something very interesting. You're not allowed to open the boxing glove, just like George told you. You gotta keep it closed. Now, at times, when Byrd throws that right jab, he opens the glove. Now, Randy Newman should warn him about that. If he keeps opening the glove, you take away a point. Under the rules, you must keep the glove closed.
Well, you know, I think it's abundantly clear by now that Randy Newman isn't going to warn him for opening the glove, despite the fact that he continues to do it.
Well, when it lands on Foreman's head, the glove closes.
You mean on Holyfield's head?
On Holyfield's head.
And if he comes over,
George.
If he comes over and punches Foreman, it'll probably close there too.
Right, step back. Let me have the swap.
Does this remind you just a little bit of Jimmy Young and you, George? I hate to bring it up, but Jimmy Young was a right-handed version of Chris Byrd.
I think Chris Byrd is in a league of his own.
That fight, George Foreman against Jimmy Young, was March 17, 1977 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Memorable night. Launched George Foreman into the next incarnation of his existence, which was out of boxing for 10 years, and then he came back. What a story.
Beat the devil out of me. Evander is allowing this guy to just relax and do whatever he wants. Trying to counterpunch you. You just can't do it.
One of the discussions before the fight was reflexes. You have to have great reflexes to fight a quick counterpuncher like Byrd, and does Evander still have that?
No, you can't fight him with reflexes. You got to fight him with momentum. You got to get your chest right there on your head.